Good morning, everyone. It is a great and beautiful day out there, isn't it? It's a day for after service and after the meeting to go home and get some lemonade and sit in the backyard and enjoy the sunshine and the beauty of the day. For those of you that do not know me, my name is Xiomara Rodriguez. My pronouns are she, her, and ella. I'm honored to serve as your worship associate today, and I would like to remind all that we are meeting in the ancestral lands of the Paiute, Shoshone, and Washoe tribes, and we must be mindful of the profound death that we have for our brothers and sisters, Indigenous brothers and sisters. We welcome you this morning to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Northern Nevada, where it is our mission to grow together in love, faith, justice, and joy. Maya Angelou said, "I can be changed by what happens to me, but I refuse to be reduced by it." Writer Jada DeWalt said, "When we learn how to become resilient, we learn how to embrace the beautiful, broad spectrum of the human experience." With these words, I would like to welcome you all here. No matter where you are today, inside the sanctuary or on Zoom, we welcome you regardless of your racial identity, age, economic circumstances, immigration status, sexual orientation, gender ID. If, by any chance, this is your first time here, you are very welcome to be here, please. If this is your 150th, 100th, you're still welcome. We're still welcome. You're welcome here, and we are so glad that you're here. We ask that you all respect the wishes of the people around you regarding distancing and mask and so forth. Please be mindful of that. For those of you on Zoom, we're going to repeat this again. You know you will remain muted during the service, but you could put your comments on the chat box and so forth. So now, all stay and follow the service after coffee time. And no matter where you are today, please sit back and enjoy our service. And there's a little change. We are going to go into announcements now before we go into greeting one another. So the first announcement is joys and sorrows. Now it's white. It's in the pouch in the back seat of each one. Please, if you have one, write it. Bring it to me. I will be standing right here. I will collect them all. Please. They're back there. Don't forget. Chris. Where's Chris? From the board. I guess that.
I'm a little taller than Chris. And I think I'm older, too. But
I don't know. I'm back here.
Chris is on his way. He's running a little late, so I will read his announcement, and hopefully I've got it all here. So you know what today is, right? Thank you, Philip. Betty's birthday. We love you, Betty. And the other thing that's happening today is the informational meeting, which happens every year. For how many years have we been doing it? I know, somebody told me, Chris thought it started just before COVID, and I was like, oh, no. We've been doing it a long, long time. So if you don't know, the informational meeting is today. And that's so that next Sunday when we have our congregational meeting, you all get out of here before dinner time, okay? So we're glad you're here, and we hope you'll stay for the informational meeting that follows the service. So it'll follow about 15 minutes after, but we have this celebration thing going on. So it might take a little longer, but we'll invite you to get something to eat, get some coffee, visit, give Betty a hug, and come, if she wants one, and come back in here after. Let's see, and Zoom, I know you're there too. Please stay on the Zoom link when the service ends. After we get set up, we'll hook you into that, and Mary is going to be hosting that as she does the Zoom. If you have any questions, you can see me after the service. Thanks.
And I might get a little emotional here, so please forgive me. I will like to introduce to you our guest minister for today, Reverend Catherine Linesch. She and I go back a long time. She walked into my house the day my mother-in-law passed. She held my husband's hand as we dealt with that sorrow, because she had lived with us for many, many years. And she guided us through that time. And then she guided me spiritually through a little crack on the door so I could get in here and be part of you guys. And for that, I am extremely grateful. Thank you. So, Reverend Catherine Linesch is a Unitarian Universalist community minister affiliated with our congregation. She was a congregational minister here in 1999 to 2002 when we built this lovely building. Reverend Catherine has been lead minister in 2 other congregations and for many years has served as a spiritual care counselor in clinical settings. She presently serves at Renown Hospice with a team of people whom she values tremendously. Reverend Catherine loves music, art, and enjoys singing in the Philharmonic chorus. Whoa. She treasures this community and is very glad to be here with us today. And thank you for being here with us. And in that note, let's greet one another in whichever way it's more convenient for you. A wave, a hug, a fist bump, an elbow bump. I'll sing the bowl when we're ready to start.
See you, Mara. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest of truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve human need, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus we do covenant with each other and with God. Must be God calling. Thank you, baby. So I think we just got one sorrow, and I have a joy. The sorrow is about Alicia Mayers, and it's from Jackie. Thinking of her as her father passed last Sunday. Oh, there's a couple on this piece of paper. More than one. The second is Linda O'Neill broke her wrist. She had surgery on Wednesday and is healing. The third is Angie Flynn fell last week and could use our healing thoughts. And the joy is a personal joy because Layla Jean Burns was born yesterday. That is my great niece, so in Los Angeles. But I got a lot of pictures, so new life. So in this moment, in this time, there are many joys and concerns that we all hold in our hearts and our minds. And so let's take a moment to hold the people who've been mentioned in a spirit of well-being and peace. And for all that has not been mentioned, we lift these up to the great spirit of healing. Thank you, and amen.
Good morning. My name is Dominic Gonzalez, and I'm serving as your music director this morning. If you may please take out your hymnals and open up to 347, Gather the Spirit. And please all rise.
Thank you. I'm a little out of practice. I think I got out of order here. Thank you. The reading is from Joy Harjo. For calling the spirit back from wandering the earth in its human feet. Is this microphone okay, or is it kind of echoing? I'm getting an echo. It's okay? Okay. Oh. For calling the spirit back from wandering the earth in its human feet. Put down that bag of potato chips, that white bread, that bottle of pop. Turn off that cell phone, computer, and remote control. Open the door. Then close it behind you. Take a breath offered by the friendly winds. They travel the earth gathering essences of plants to clean. Give it back with gratitude. If you sing, it will give your spirit lift to fly to the stars' ears and back. Acknowledge this earth who has cared for you since you were a dream planting itself precisely within your parents' desire. Let your moccasin feet take you to the encampment of the guardians who have known you before time, who will be there after time. They sit before the fire that has been there without time. Let the earth stabilize your post-colonial insecure jitters. Be respectful of the small insects, birds, and animal people who accompany you. Ask their forgiveness for the harm we humans have brought down upon them. Don't worry. The heart knows the way, though there may be high rises, interstates, checkpoints, armed soldiers, massacres, wars, and those who will despise you because they despise themselves. The journey might take you a few hours, a day, a year, a few years, 100, 1,000, or even more. Watch your mind. Without training, it might run away and leave your heart for the immense human feast set by the thieves of time. Do not hold regrets. When you find your way to the circle, to the fire kept burning by the keepers of your soul, you will be welcomed. You must clean yourself with cedar, sage, or other healing plant. Cut the ties you have to failure and shame. Let go of the pain you are holding in your mind, your shoulders, your heart, all the way to your feet. Let go the pain of your ancestors to make way for those who are heading in your direction. Ask for forgiveness. Call upon the help of those who love you. These helpers take many forms: animal, element, bird, angel, saint, stone, or ancestor. Call your spirit back. It may be caught in corners and creases of shame, judgment, and human abuse. You must call in a way that your spirit will want to return. speak to it as you would speak to a beloved child. Welcome your spirit back from wandering. It may return in pieces, in tatters. Gather them together. They will be happy to be found after being lost for so long. Your spirit will need to sleep a while after it is bathed and given clean clothes. And now you can have a party. Invite everyone you know who loves and supports you. Keep room for those who have no place else to go. Make a giveaway and remember, keep the speeches short. Then you must do this. Help the next person find their way through the dark. And let's sing Guide My Feet.
Please take out your hymnals and open to hymnal number 348, Guide My Feet, and please all rise.
I am just so happy to be here with you today. It has been a while, and it's nice to come home. Thank you for welcoming me. This is one of my spiritual homes, and even though I sometimes are not here a lot, you know, and COVID was all that thing and whatnot, you are always a part of me. And you really are a part of me as I am your community minister, because what that means is that this congregation has affirmed my work in the community as a ministry and a branch of the congregation. So maybe we'll talk about that a little more this upcoming year. I also teach some classes at TMCC and, you know, just do a variety of things in the community. So you are always a part of me as I do that. I want you to know that. So it's an honor and pleasure to be in this place with you, my friends, old and new. I think I have to start breathing a little more deeply now. So I'm going to speak with you today, and I'm going to really pay attention to time. Oh, we have time. Okay, with images and stories drawn from my experience as a hospice worker, and one who, even before I came to ministry, I studied and practiced the healing arts. So I actually even wondered if I should go into the healing arts, and then I found ministry, and they said, oh, ministers have always, did both until the era of enlightenment when things were sort of split apart. So I was like, I'm going to be that combo. And and I like to also think of it as a friend who put it this way, that we are healing artists. So I hope and pray that one story, or even maybe that reading really spoke to me, that one story or reading or something might touch you and encourage you and support you as you run this race in this time, and help you feel more grounded and whole in spirit. These are interesting days to be alive, right? Wow. And it can be overwhelming at times. I speak for myself that these days there's so much going on that it's a little hard to stay hopeful sometimes and grounded and all those things. We know that big events are transpiring in our world. Things have changed. They're continuing to change. Life is definitely not like it was even a short time ago. And we wonder what is coming. All of us wonder. And it weighs on us. We face existential questions about the viability of life on our planet and even of our own lives. Leadership is in chaos, there are wars, inflation eats away at us, and we're still really recovering from the pandemic. And I don't know how long that will take, or if, there's some people have indelible imprints upon them, especially our children. And we're living life in a new chapter. There was a time during the pandemic isolation when I walked around in my house. I was fortunate to be able to work from home, if you can believe it, do hospice work from home. But I've done it so long, it worked. That's all I can say. And I wandered around in my home alone and disconnected, and I lamented out loud, I'm losing it. And I can really vividly remember that feeling, like I'm losing it. I'm losing it. I'm losing it. And there was very strong emotion and fear. And then after a rant, I talked to myself some more and I said, okay, and how will that help? Nobody sees me, nobody knows. I'm over here alone doing this meltdown. And okay, and now what? So I pulled myself together and persevered, as I am sure that many of you did and have done many times before in life, pandemic or other adversity. And this is one of the absolutely amazing things, gifts of the human spirit. No matter how challenging the conditions, we still return again to hope and to inner resilience again and again. So I've learned through a number of life experiences that even in some of the most challenging moments, the times that look the hardest to us, that something is growing. So the first story I'd like to tell you is about my father's death. And, because I'm a death worker and work, that's through the stories you're going to get you're going to get to hear healing stories. So in June of 1996, I attended the General Assembly. I was trying to remember where that was, but I was across country. I'd flown. Any of our people here who've been to General Assembly knows it's a very busy, stimulating time, lots of meetings, lots of people, lots of noise, hotel rooms, restaurants. It's a lot of interaction. And I had been at a week, because there were ministers' days too. And I flew back cross country, arrived at my home in my little apartment in Berkeley, and the phone rang. My brother was on the other end of the phone, and his voice sounded funny. And he told me that my father was critically ill in the hospital, had had a massive cerebral hemorrhage. So my bag was already packed. I turned around and went back to the airport and flew to Los Angeles. So I met up with the family in a medical center, and there was my dad unconscious in a bed. And because, excuse me. Because I have this background in the healing arts, I just scanned his body and to see what I could see. And his head was hot, which matched with this blood that had bathed his brain. So we hung out for a while. Family went home to sleep. The next morning we came back and scanned my dad's body again. And it was the trippiest thing. His head was vacant, like cold. And his flesh was in this state of going, like it wasn't knit together anymore. And I was like, uh-oh. So then the doctors came in and did their kinds of tests and declared him brain dead. It was time to remove him from life support. And we watched as his spirit left his body in waves. It's a very, maybe some of you have seen this in your life experience. It was like waves. And then the most interesting thing happened. There was an expansive state of awareness, a heightened spirit of connection in the room, and a profound, it's very hard to find words for these things, but there was a profoundly large goodness present. And in this atmosphere, my father's spirit was everywhere and brilliant. Interpersonal divisions among people just melted away. The only word I have to begin to describe this is love. But it's, love has so multivalent, has so many different meanings that, this is a big love. My sister-in-law later commented that she even felt close to a difficult relative in that moment, that the barriers broke down and she even felt, non-defensive and protective and close. There was very real loss, and there was the end of a precious life, yes, but there was also a birthing into something ineffable, something I'm always striving to try to express it. And again, I'm sure some of you have felt this, but it was big, wondrous, powerful, luminescent, and again, very good. Transformational. I've always thought of it as my father's last gift to his loved ones. It was as if every one of us became a little bit brighter by being touched by his spirit. Almost as if he cast his seed into us once again in a new way while he was on his journey into whatever comes next. This is one of the experiences that compelled me to work with hospice, because death can be like this. It's always scary and, unknown, but it also can be just so magnificent in its own way. So this taught me one of the prime beliefs that is useful to my resilience. Yes, it's true, though through this experience, I'm witnessing breakdown, destruction, and death, no doubt. And I've learned to keep one eye on this reality. And I keep my other eye trained on what is being born, the evolution that is occurring, the arising of something expansive and new, the wonder. I cannot really say what it is, and it's sort of like a faith walk or something that, even though this looks terrible, there's something beautiful emerging. And we shall wait and see and keep leaning into that without knowing, but believing and having faith. So another story at another medical center where a person did not die. My friend Naomi had an outpatient surgery and it was supposed to be outpatient, but she had some internal bleeding. Not terrible, awful, but enough to keep her there from going home. So I was in a chaplaincy, my first unit of clinical pastoral education. I was very busy, and life was demanding, and I was tired. But I knew I needed to go see Naomi. But I didn't go the first day, I didn't go the second day. I went on Sunday, the third day. And I packed, I'm getting ready to go, and threw my massage oil in my bag, and just was getting ready to be with her. And I went to her room, and there she was again in the bed. And her mom was there, people were coming in and out. There was, that's always how it is in those settings, a lot going on. And so I thought, well, I'll just, with her permission, I'll just start working on her feet, because you can get to the whole body through the feet. And so I hung out with her and did my reflexology, yeah, her mom went off to get something to eat. This woman, the cleaning lady, comes in and starts asking me what I'm doing. And I'm like, oh, I'm just, offering her some healing. And she's like, that's from the devil. I was like, oh no, I don't think so. Thank you very much. We have different paradigms here. It's just all this stuff going on. And I'm hanging out with her, and then after, this was a while. I think I was with her like an hour and a half, just sort of being and tracking her, That's actually one of the amazing things about the healing arts, is if you can track and then lift it up to a state of wholeness, this dynamic that's stuck, it can heal itself. So anyway, I'm just tracking her. We're the lens, or the hollow bamboo, or whatever you want to call that. But healing's innate in every being and the planet. So anyway, I moved up her body, and she had been, when I came in, she showed me this spot on her back that she'd been pressing that was terribly bruised. She just kept pressing. So eventually I made my way up to that spot, and then I put another hand off the body where the dysfunction was, shall we say, and hung out with her. And then this other kind of seeming miracle happened, that this energy space opened up. And I always have puzzled about where it came from, like it came out in out, and just all the way around. And this place was so powerful that I was in an altered state for a period, and I still don't know if it was 2 seconds, 2 minutes, whatever, 5 minutes, a year, just in this zone. And then that was done. And then I was like, whoa, what was that? And then I was like, excuse me, Naomi, I have to go wash my hands. And I went into the bathroom and looked in the mirror, and I was like, wow, what was that? So the best words I have ever had is there was profound unity again, rooted in love. And this isn't like love like Hallmark cards. This is love like fierce love that binds atoms together. It's a force and palpable binding, a love that can call the pieces back together again. So I went back to my friend. First, she got mad at me. She's like, where were you? How come you didn't come before? And I said, I don't know, but today was definitely the right day. I mean, there was a ripeness about the moment. And then she cried and talked about being scared. And I said, I know. It's okay, though. You're going home tomorrow. I don't know where that came from, but that's what I said. And and then she ate. And she went home the next day. So this experience was also a great teacher about what is possible when we can touch the big love and the unity that is at the heart of all creation. If we can find that and rest in that place, we can bring that essence into this reality, into our everyday. So sometime later, I asked another healer friend, what was that? What happened? Tell me, how come when you do that, how can you ever worry? When you go there, how can you ever worry about anything again? She said, oh, you forget. So anyway, some spiritual leaders on the planet say that we are in the midst of a profound evolution right now. They say that we are ready for a huge leap. Different terms are used, but they all speak of an expanding consciousness, moving from a dualistic sense of reality to a unity consciousness. Honestly, I have to say that I really don't know about all of that, but I want to believe it, and I work for it, and I cultivate that inside, and I want to be this evolution at this time when it looks like things are crumbling, but there's new things being born. Here, one leader speaks of this change and some things that can help us to heal and shift. And I'm quoting from a local leader of the Sky Spirit Shamans, Denise Sheehan. The shift is meant to be a slow process. Otherwise, it would be even more chaotic and devastating. So we will have to learn patience and presence even when we want things to be better on the outside now. To see injustices corrected, to see everyone thriving more fully, to enter the fifth world of peace as foretold in prophecy. Here's the thing. Each of us has the power to step into the new paradigm. In this now, to transcend duality, to enter unity consciousness, even without knowing how we are on our way. The tricky part is that we each have our own portals and timelines. This will get you started from wherever you are. Follow your heart and your inner spiritual wisdom in each moment. Your mind will give you all kinds of excuses of why not to choose love, because it's afraid of losing control. Learning to witness that is better than believing it. Trust that everything in your experience, all the highs and the lows, are here to serve you on your path. Do your shadow work. making your unconscious conscious so you can stop harming others in the name of self-protection. Prioritize your own healing, body, mind, emotions, spirit, and know that your healing contributes to the healing of all that is. What you love in yourself, you love on behalf of us all. As you step more fully into your empowerment, peace, and love, your energetic ripples help us all to cross over. So, I hunker down. I watch my mind. I guard myself from being sucked down into thoughts that are non-productive. I unearth old patterns that speak to me of less than love, and I love them. I believe in the magnificence of creation. I believe there is beauty, unfolding, powerful forces for the good, even through destruction and suffering. I am not callous to the suffering. I witness it with compassion and offer my service for healing in my place. But I believe there is unity, fierce love, and wholeness at the core of our existence. And I hold this space. I reach for powers and forces beyond me to align with that are positive. As Harjo said, I sing it to give my spirit lift to fly to the stars' ears and back. I believe this amplifies all that I hold sacred and good. Miracles happen. Intuition opens and makes way for a larger, brighter space for those to come. I don't have to know. I don't have to fix. I do have to keep learning how to love both myself and another and this crazy world. So I just invite you to share what you discover in the wholeness of your heart and spirit with others, and to keep helping ourselves and one another find the way. Thank you.
As we approach the time in the service for our offering, I would like to say, give what you will for the church that has meant so much to you, for the church that has meant so much for those that came before you, for the church that will mean so much for the people who you will never know. Give what you will for your generous people. For those of us physically here, the basket will be passed. For those of you on Zoom, you could do your offering virtually by texting 73256, putting UUFNN on the message box and hitting send. Then follow the instructions for your donation. You could also mail a check to our office at 780 Del Monte Lane, Reno, Nevada, 89511. But one of the best ways to do it is by automatic giving. If you go to your banking account online, you could always do bill payment online, and it will go directly to us. So that's the safest way possible. Here at UUFNN, each month, we give folks the opportunity to share our generosity by sharing the play with a designated nonprofit organization. The nonprofit organization for the month of June is Life is Worth. The founder, Emma White, was recently named USA Today's 2024 Women of the Year for the state of Nevada in recognition of her commitment and accomplishment in the area of suicide prevention. Life is Worth is a suicide prevention program for teens and young adults. They reach about 500 young people per year. Their mission is to recognize and intervene on suicide risk in young people, upstream, as she says. They accomplish this by holding training, events, and workshops for the youth and their family on strategic development. So let's help. Thank you. Now let the offering begin. If you all could now help me and David with the blessing of our offerings to the work of this fellowship, which is helping more people grow in love, faith, justice, and joy. We dedicate ourselves, and these are offerings.
The benediction is adapted from a poem by Denise Levertov. The fountain is there, It is still there and always there, with its quiet song and strong power to spring in us up and out through the rock. And please join us in our closing hymn, For All That Is Our Life. It's number 128, and we're just going to sing one verse in the interest of time. You can rise as you're willing and able. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we meet again.